Welcome to another special edition of Litter Media Live. It is March. It must be time for Bowl for Kids' Sake. And we have with us in studio the CEO and president of Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Central Ohio. Speaking of Erin Allsop.
Good morning.
To have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming in.
For having me.
We're going to talk about Bowl for Kids' Sake. It's a final push because it's coming up this weekend. Details in just a moment, but first this from our sponsor, Kingston National Bank.
Wherever you are there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
K&B is one of the sponsors for Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Central Ohio. Will they have a team this year?
I don't believe they have a team.
Not a team this year. Okay. Some of us have gotten older and we've stepped away from bowling, but we can still contribute, can't we?
Absolutely. We love that. We love having participation in whatever form. And you don't have to be a great bowler, which is the great thing. So.
And I don't know a whole lot of great bowlers. I know there are some great bowlers, but I don't know a bunch of them. There are some great bowlers
out there.
This is your second most popular fundraiser?
Yes. We like to say that this is our family-friendly fundraiser. So Dance for Kids' Sake in the fall is the gala event, but this one is open to anyone, young, old, older. And yeah, it's just a fun time. We like to say that it's a fun time to spend with your family, your friends, your coworkers, a great team building activity and giving back to the community at the same time.
No glimmery, shiny dresses or anything like this one.
Oh, wait till you see what my staff has ready to break out this year. It's not sparkles and shine, but it's pretty special.
Very nice.
They're very excited.
You've got two bowling times, one at noon, another at 2:30 this
Correct.
coming Sunday.
Yep.
And it's at Shawnee Lanes again, which is the main hub there. Explain to us how you can get a team together and still participate.
We still have a few open lanes, so it is still possible to participate. Each lane is by a $300 donation. So, of course, we ask our donors to raise as much possible. But for $300, you get a 5-person team, 2 hours to bowl on the lane with shoes and everything, and then pizza and pop.
Yummy.
Yeah.
And of course, that pizza, if I'm not mistaken, is right there from Julio's.
Yes, it is. And it's really good pizza.
It is. And has been for years.
A great job.
Let's share with folks what the money does for your program, because you've got kids always on the waiting list.
Always.
And you have to keep them entertained as well.
Exactly. So all of the money raised at either of our fundraisers, Bowl for Kids' Sake or Dance for Kids' Sake, is able to stay completely local and support our agency and our programs. In our community-based program, a lot of this money goes towards having activities for our matches. We have 48 matches right now, so we're getting really close to that big 50. That's our goal for this year, is to stick at 50 matches for our community-based program. And what we do for those matches is we offer free activities that might be different than what they would do with their little otherwise. So in our community-based program, the matches are able to spend time at their leisure and do whatever they want to do. But we like to have some activities. For example, last month we had a pizza and puzzles activity where we bought pizza and we had puzzles and they just came and ate pizza and did a puzzle. This month we've also, or I guess that was in January, in February we had a STEM night where we had one of our bigs, Emma Domo, come and lead our littles in STEM activities. So focusing on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So that was really,
what she's doing,
and
too.
she knows what she's doing. She was a fantastic, and the littles had so much fun doing that. And then also we have around 50 kids on our wait list. And those kids are waiting for a mentor in the program. And while they're waiting, we as a staff invite them on outings and activities. So we can do things like take them to get ice cream, or take them to the park to play, or take them to COSI, or take them to the zoo during the summertime and stuff like that. So some of those things cost a little bit more money than others. And so that's what the funds that are raised allow us to do.
And you do some things with the kids here locally as well, so it's not always a big trip to Columbus or whichever, but I know you've had them out to Chillicothe Paints games and things of that sort too.
Yep, and we'll do that again this summer. We always have a paints outing in the summertime. This summer we have a lot of fun things planned. Last year we partnered with the YMCA to have active Fridays for some of our kids to be able to just get out of the house during the summertime away from their video games and do some exercises and play some sports and stuff like that. So we're hoping to do that again this year. Emma is going to do more STEM classes this summer for our kids. We have a former little who is now giving back in his own way, who is going to do some carpentry classes for our kids this summer. So it's going to be a full summer of lots of activities. And of course, that takes funding to be able to pull off.
Yeah. I've been involved with the organization since the 1980s. We were talking about Bowl for Kids' Sake itself probably is 40
years old, yeah.
Maybe a little bit older.
Yep.
And it used to be the big fundraiser,
right.
But with Dance for Kids' Sake several years back, it's taken over that spot.
Yeah.
In a big way.
In a big way, yeah, which we're really excited about. Of course, last year was a record breaker in a big way, 115,000. So we have a big road ahead of us on that one, but we have till October for that.
Yeah, you still got a time to plan.
Yes.
However, if I remember correctly, we on this program said, let's go for 100.
And
you went
look
beyond.
What we did. Look what you all did.
Precisely. Yeah. Thank you for the efforts of our community. Finding mentors is important for these kids. And at one point in time, you just had to do something 2 hours a week, but that's been reduced to even just to 1 hour.
An hour. Of course, if you want to do more than an hour, that is absolutely fantastic. But we ask for a minimum of 1 hour a week for a year. So I think everyone has at least an hour that you can give up, scrolling on the phone or sitting on the couch. So an hour a week invested into the life of a child really does turn around and pay back to you.
I've said this multiple times. I'll say it again. The bigs, a lot of times, get more out of it than the littles do.
They really do. They really do. And in fact, this year we are going to have a big celebration just to honor our bigs for that commitment. Because it is a sacrifice of your own time, but it really does pay back in a big way. We have lots of bigs saying, I got into this to do something good for somebody else, and my life has been the one that has been blessed by adding a relationship, by adding a child, and just a different way to look at the world a lot of times, which is always nice.
Yeah. Kids may have changed a little bit along the way, but certain things about kids has not changed. And that's always in need of a mentor, someone to help them along. And you do a great job at matching a kid and their characteristics with a big with their characteristics.
Yeah, it's not first come, first serve. It really is. We get to know the child, we get to know the mentor, and try to connect them in a way that facilitates a relationship, facilitates a friendship. There have been recent studies that say 3 out of 4 kids want to have somebody in their corner who understands what they're going through and will help them through it. So 3 out of 4 kids are asking for mentors. So maybe that's talking to you.
Yeah, you can be the difference maker right here.
Exactly.
There's a number of people who have been a big for multiple years with different children along the way too.
Yeah, we just made a new match last week with a big whose first match closed under good terms, but we always ask our bigs to kind of sit out for a couple of months just to make sure they want to do it again if they are interested. But he's a big in Pickaway County, and he said, you know what, I want to do this again. So he just got rematched with another little. And so we're excited to see what happens. Yeah.
Right along the Scioto River and a couple of counties over. So we're looking at Pike, Pickaway, and Ross counties, Highland, and Fayette counties as well.
Yep.
So if you're in those territories and you can participate, please do so. Mm-hmm. If you're in another county somewhere, find your local Big Brothers, Big Sisters.
Yeah. In fact, the state association for Big Brothers, Big Sisters in Ohio is we're pushing to make sure that every single county is covered by an agency. So some of our agencies across the state are expanding their reach and adding new counties. I don't think that South Central will be adding any new counties. We did used to cover Scioto County, which is possible that could add again, but we're really trying to make sure that every county in Ohio is covered by a Big Brothers Big Sisters agency because of the need for mentors and mentorship in our kids' lives.
One of my favorite things that has happened over the last several years has been the high schoolers getting involved, because they're the between. They are between the age of being a little
right
and being a big.
Exactly.
And it's a nice fit, I think. And some of these younger kids will relate to the high school kids.
Yeah, we're really excited. Our school-based program has just exploded in the last couple of years. Of course, with COVID, everything shut down. But then since then, we've really been able to build it up. This year, we are serving almost 200 matches, which means almost 200 elementary and middle school kids being matched with a high schooler. Those high schoolers are the role model high schoolers. They are getting community service credit, which is great for scholarships and job applications and college applications, as well as leadership skills. So we're really expanding that program for our high schoolers. And we've also lowered the age of bigs in our community-based program to 19 years old, so that after those high schoolers graduate, they can transition into the community-based program. And we've seen that happen 3 times now. Former high school bigs are now community-based bigs, which is really awesome, because we do find that a lot of these kids on our community-based want a younger person. We have really successful matches with retirees, and it's great to have that. But some of our kids, especially our older kids that are 13, 14-year-olds, want somebody who really understands them, who understands the struggles that they're encountering with social media pressure and peer pressure and just high school life.
Yeah.
So.
I, on a personal level, was blessed with having 2 older brothers and an older sister, and they filled that gap for me. But not everybody has that. I mean, I know you had siblings as well.
Well, I was the oldest, though, so.
So you've always been a big sister.
Yeah, exactly. But you're right. A lot of our kids, even kids who have extended and large families, they're so, family's structure is just so different. A lot of our kids are not living with their siblings or are not in close relationship with their siblings. So a big sister or a big brother really can be impactful in a child's life.
A comment I made earlier, I want to kind of backtrack just a little bit. There is a gap, but our friends of the Paper City Mentoring Project, they have helped fill that gap as well after your kids age out. Yeah. So I didn't want to leave them out.
No,
I know you guys work together.
We work really closely together. Asti and I have been meeting on a monthly basis. We've been, transferring kids back and forth. We're sharing activities. I love what Paper City Mentoring is doing, and they really do focus more on the needs of high schoolers, which, high schoolers who are looking towards the future with so many questions, they need that support just as much. So we have when our kids end at 14, which they can stay in our program through 18, but our activities are more focused on the younger kids, and Paper City Mentoring Project's activities are more focused towards job readiness and school graduation and getting the driver's license. They are able to help kids get their driver's license, which is a really costly part of growing up, but really necessary if you want to be able to be successful.
Yeah, because not everybody has mom and dad at home to help take care of those things.
Yeah,
so.
Exactly.
We started talking off about Bowl for Kids' Sake, and that is coming up again Sunday.
It's this Sunday, yes.
And how does one sign up?
The easiest way at this point would be to call our office, 740-773-2447. We only have 3 lanes available, so if you want to participate, now's your moment. Call me now. But yeah, we would love to fill those last 3 lanes so that we can say that we're sold out.
Very good. Bring that slide back up there again, Erin, if you would, and you see right there. Now
less
it's less than a week to go, but Bowl for Kids' Sake, Shawnee Lanes, March 8th. That's this coming Sunday at noon and again at 2:30.
Correct.
Anything we've missed?
I think we got it.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Always good to see you.
Always.
Erin Allsop. And thank you again to our friends at Kingston National Bank for providing sponsorship for this program here on Litter Media Live.